The Shadow of the Desert. David and Michael were two old friends who loved adventure. They decided to embark on a journey through the world's largest and most mysterious desert. This desert, known as the Desert of Terrifying Silence, was famous for its eerie reputation and frightening tales. People said that those who ventured there either never returned or lost their sanity. One morning, the two friends set off on their journey, carrying food, water, and survival gear. During the day, the desert sun blazed like fire, and at night, the cold was as harsh as a frozen mountain. But David and Michael were fearless, confident that they would complete their expedition successfully. As night fell, they set up camp. Suddenly, David spotted a shadow in the distance, as if someone was approaching. But the figure disappeared instantly. David mentioned it to Michael, but he brushed it off, assuming it was just fatigue. The next morning, as they resumed their journey, Michael noticed that David seemed different. There was a strange glimmer in his eyes, and an unsettling expression on his face. Still, Michael trusted his friend and didn't say anything. Throughout their journey, Michael kept noticing odd things. David would smile for no reason, become silent all of a sudden, or stare at Michael as if he were prey. One night, Michael woke up to find David leaning over him, as if searching for something. When Michael asked what he was doing, David smiled and said, "Just making sure you're okay." Michael's suspicions grew, but he had no concrete evidence. Then one day, in a deserted spot, he noticed something terrifying. David's shadow wasn't casting on the ground. A chill ran down his spine, and he realized that the person with him wasn't David but a sinister entity. That night, when Michael was deep asleep, the entity revealed its true form. It slowly approached him and morphed into its original shape. David's face transformed into a horrifying creature with glowing red eyes and sharp fangs. It leaned close to Michael's neck and began to suck his blood, slowly and silently. When Michael half-consciously realized what was happening, he tried to scream, but the creature covered his mouth with its fingers. "Just a little more, and you won't feel a thing," it whispered sinisterly. Michael's strength began to fade, but a flicker of hope for survival remained in his heart. With a sudden push, he shoved the creature away and tried to run. But the entity's speed was unhuman. It blocked Michael's path in an instant, laughing wickedly. "You can't escape. Your blood may quench my thirst, but you are now part of my game." Michael knew there was no way out. Realizing he couldn't escape, he decided to fight until the end. He grabbed a sharp stone from the ground and, just as the entity lunged at him, he drove it with all his might into the creature's chest. The entity let out a terrifying scream as its body began to dissolve into smoke. But before disappearing, it whispered, "You may have survived, but this desert is the home of my souls, and you'll remain a prisoner here forever." Barely able to stand, Michael gathered his remaining strength and ran towards the edge of the desert. For days, he wandered aimlessly, haunted by the entity's words. Eventually, he stumbled upon a caravan that rescued him. However, Michael's experience left him so scarred that he could never return to a normal life. He constantly thought of his friend David, shivering at the memory of what had happened. People say that to this day, Michael sees the same entity in his dreams, wearing David's face and trying to drink his blood. This story serves as a reminder that every journey, especially to mysterious places, brings not only adventure but also fear and the unknown.